Hi, I am Anna Martin and welcome to the Flex podcast. Today I'm talking about my favourite thing about lifting weights in any context and any situation, and it is learning to focus on what your body can do and not solely on what it looks like. And the vast majority of people who come to train with me in any context, both in Flex or at PT classes, normally people come because either they feel like they have to, like, oh, I really have to do something, or they come because they think they need to tone up and lose a bit of weight. And that's absolutely fine. Like, everyone's motivation to do something is a bit different. But generally, that's what, kind of kickstarts people to come and do stuff. But once they start and they realise exactly what they are truly capable of doing when they're guided in the right direction and what they're doing is reinforced, so it's like, yes, that is the right thing, yes, you are doing it properly, this is how to do it, and if you structure it like this, it's going to help more. That reassurance of knowing that you're doing the right thing can really help you to keep going as well, because you're like, I am doing the right thing, the results are going to be slow. You can't squat the first day body weight and then the next day squat 100 kilos. Like, that's not possible. You have to increase it over time, and it is a journey to start getting stronger. And obviously that's extreme because 100 kilo squat's massive, but you get the general gist of it. We have to spend time and we have to be patient and we have to rinse and repeat the same stuff many times in order to start feeling stronger and to, really see those results happening for us in that way. And that patience is, as you know, patience is a virtue. It really does start to change the way that you see yourself and the way that you cope with things as well. So obviously, having that patience and having that outlet as well can help to reduce your stress. Having that time to spend on yourself, even if it's only 20 minutes, only half an hour, a few times a week, it makes a difference to know that you're spending time looking after yourself. There is nothing like finishing a workout and knowing that you smashed it. Like, oh my God, I went heavier on this. I managed to squat this. I did an extra rep. And even if you didn't smash it and you literally went through the motions, you will still be proud of yourself that you did it. And that's very key, because a lot of the time we can be quite, oh, well, I know I should be doing this. Oh, well, I'm not very good at that, so I don't think I'll be able to do it. We can be quite down on ourselves. But once you start doing resistance training, like at the beginning it is hard. It's really difficult, especially if you've got to learn all like how to do things, and everything feels quite taxing. But even within a few weeks, those movement patterns start to feel more natural to you and they feel easier to do. And that does happen quite quickly. And the pride that you have in yourself when that's happening, and the confidence in your body to do this and to show up for you is phenomenal. And likewise, injuries do happen. So I'm not saying that they don't, but the way that you perceive that injury does change over time. So for example, I've definitely had clients who've said, oh, the thing is, when I do this, it hurts such and such. So I just stopped. I didn't do anything for a few months, and then I found it really difficult to get started again, so I haven't really done anything. And because they're scared of hurting themselves, it can put them off a little bit from doing stuff. But once you start training and you start doing it regularly, you'll notice that actually injuries don't happen that often. And when they do, there's oftentimes things you can do to work around them. That means that you're less likely to get injured in day-to-day life as well, because your body's more resilient. And also you're like, well, what I thought before was like excessive pain and meant I needed 6 months off was actually moderate, and what I really needed to do was rest that body part, like carry on moving but not do anything wildly heavy on my lower body for say a couple of weeks, but still train my upper body because I can still work around it. And there's very few people I've ever worked with where I'm like, yeah, we really can't train today. It happens so rarely, and to be honest, it's normally not because of an injury, and it's normally because they're like, yeah, I've been feeling sick all day, and I'm like, you've got stomach bug, or you don't know if you've got food poisoning or not. You definitely don't want to be in the gym like 100 meters away from a toilet. Let's rethink this. So it's not normally because we can't work around an injury they've got. And with that comes a kind of power within yourself, thinking, do you know what, I have got this and I am confident. Yet life happens. I did trip over a step when I was pissed and I have sprained my ankle, but I can still train my upper body. Like, we can still do stuff. There are things we can do. Also, learning to clap for yourself. That's huge, because especially when someone first starts out doing anything in fitness, even if it's not lifting weights or resistance training, it might be they're going to a class for the first time, they need to come with a friend, bit for moral support, and also because then they can talk to that friend and be like, oh yeah, we did that, it was really good, like big themselves up, and you get that boost of confidence from talking to each other, which is completely normal and completely understandable. And don't get me wrong, I still do it now. If I PB, I definitely message my friends who probably don't care that much, but I like to tell them anyway. But you learn to like be proud of yourself for yourself and be like, yes, I did well for myself, I lifted a bit more, I did more reps, or I did this, I showed up today even though I didn't feel like it. You're proud of yourself rather than like needing it from other people, if you know what I mean. And that is a really lovely thing. Also, falling in love with your weird bits. So I'm going to presume we all have them. Like, I definitely have them. Obviously, I think you guys know by now that I've got scoliosis. So my spine is curved. And whilst I don't think you could tell if you looked at me standing up as tall as I can from the front, you definitely can if I lean forward, or if I didn't have like a top on from the back or whatever, you can definitely see it. So that obviously has taken a lot for me to learn to love it, because it isn't going anywhere. It's never going to be straight. That is not going to change. There are always going to be things that I need to work around in terms of my body and like pain management and what I can do. There's always going to be something, and I should imagine it will be less enjoyable when I'm an older lady as well. However, I don't think I would change it now, because I am like, this makes me sound like a right old prick, I'm going to say it anyway, I'm in awe of what my body can still do around being quite so structurally unsound. And I think that feeling proud of something that you can do, whether it's I'm proud of what I can do because I'm older and I didn't think I'd ever be able to do this. I'm proud of what I could do because I never thought I'd love exercise, and here I am doing it 2 or 3 times a week. Being proud of what you can do despite things that could possibly hold you back, whatever they may be, is a really cool thing to have. And don't get me wrong, there are times when I feel a bit frustrated, or they're very few and far between now actually, because I feel like I just think, well done body, like you showed up today, like got out of bed and I was bent over, couldn't really pull my body up straight. That sorted itself out after about half an hour. It's quite a regular thing. Stretched out, did some dead hangs and stuff, and now all of a sudden I don't feel quite so uptight and unable to do stuff, and I still managed to do a lot of things even though maybe I was in a bit more pain than usual that day. So I don't think I get so angry or frustrated with it anymore. I just think to myself, well done little body, that was a good job today. And having that is great, because I have been on the other end of the spectrum with it as well. So if you have something about you that maybe you're not sure about, in terms of maybe you've got an injury, or maybe you think, I'm just not built for this, I'm just not an athletic person, or I'm just not this, I'm not asking you to train for the Olympics. I'm asking you to train for you and to look after the body that you've got so it lasts you, and lasts you with a quality of life for as long as possible. That's kind of how I feel about it, I think. And I don't get me wrong, I look at gladiators and ninja warriors and think, God, they're amazing. I would love to be able to do that. I don't think I ever would, because I would be too worried that parts of it would be too extreme for my spine. Maybe that will change over time as I get more and more confident with it. But I can still look at them and watch and think, wow, you're amazing, I would love to do that, without being cross at myself or sad at my spine or anything like that. I can still respect them and think you're great, and still work towards some of the things that they do, but that were a bit more within my remit, for example. Like, you know, hoops, when you swing across the hoops, I'd love to be able to do that. I can't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to do that spinally, but I don't, apart from getting off them, that would be the issue, because I don't think I would want to jump down from a big height. But there will always be things that you can think, actually I can work towards that bit, or I saw someone in the gym doing this and there's no way I can do as heavy as that yet, but I wonder if I'd be able to do that. Or Anna did this on a video and I don't think I can do it, but maybe I'll be able to do it in a few weeks if I try this and this. Like, we can always work towards something, even if we're not training to be an Olympic athlete. And it's just learning to love what your body can do and how much it shows up for you, even when sometimes we treat it like it doesn't matter, or we tell it things that may be a kind of negative. You know, when you're like, put on an outfit and then you're like, oh God, I look awful in that, and you start to say negative things to yourself. And actually, a lot of how we talk to ourselves and the messages and the things we tell ourselves, like I'm not capable of that, or I look really bad in this, or whatever, they negatively impact what we think we can achieve. And actually we can achieve a lot of things. And I'm not one of those people that's like, yeah, like you can achieve anything you set your mind to, because some of us do have physical limitations that we might not be able to get past, but we can still do cool stuff. We don't have to be like, yeah, I want to be top 10 time doing the London Marathon, but we might be great at the park run, or we might really enjoy training for a 10k, or we might really enjoy doing that moonwalk thing or something. It doesn't always have to be, oh God, there's no point me doing it because I'm never going to be this. Well, no, neither am I never going to be the top level of anything, but I still bloody love it. I'm still proud of myself for doing it, and I still think good for you with your big old bendy back doing all this stuff. I think a lot of times it definitely helps with confidence building. I do feel like I'm going on and on about this now, but I cannot say this enough, and I will never try to tell anyone what to do apart from on this one thing. I beg of you, as a woman, to probably women listening to this, please do some resistance training. I know it isn't something that we were ever taught to do when we were younger. I know it's something that no one ever talked to us about, especially if you're my age or older. But there is nothing that's going to be more beneficial to you as you age than being relatively fit and healthy and being strong enough to keep doing the stuff that you're doing now as you turn into an older person. So even if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I'm probably too old to do it anyway, you're not. Just do it, because you can always do incredible things. I'm always reading about amazing women that have started to lift weights or to resistance train later in life, and they are bloody brilliant. And we can all do that. We don't have to have people writing newspaper articles about us to look after ourselves. We can still be cool, fit, healthy, epic, and still enjoy the life that we already love. So I like wine, I like going out, I love a pub garden, I still do all those things, and I still look after my body in the week. I do realise none of us should be drinking alcohol. I'm not trying to tell you that you should be, but I enjoy it as part of my social life at this current time in my life. So I find my own balance by doing everything I can to look after myself in the week, and still being able to go to the pub with my mates on Saturday afternoon or whatever and have a couple of pints in the sun. That makes me feel happy. So find your balance, but I beg of you, start to think about whether or not you might be able to put some resistance training in there. I love that you're probably doing some cardio. That's awesome. Keep doing the cardio, but try and put some resistance training in there as well, because you do need to be strong as well as cardiovascularly fit. And I'm not talking strong as in a deadlift competition. I'm talking about strong as still being able to do stuff that right now you take for granted, but in 20, 25, 30 years time will feel harder if you're not as strong as you once were when you were younger. So I am going to shut up now, but I hope that was helpful, and I hope it's made you go and think about dusting off those dumbbells you've got hidden somewhere in the loft or the spare bedroom that you haven't touched for 2.5 years. Dust them off, get them out, and just even think about, can I microdose this? And that can be as easy as it needs to be to start with. Just think, I'm going to do 10 squats and 10 bicep curls. and 5 press-ups every time I walk into this room this week. And that is great. Just start doing it. Doesn't matter at what level. Anyway, good afternoon, evening or morning, or whatever time you're listening to this. Bye.